So, welcome to this first episode of Ask Me Anything in HR. My name is David L. Mills. You can call me Dr. Mills. So, on this episode, I want to speak on a very crucial topic that comes up in many conversations: searching for a job or searching for your dream job. Let me tell you a quick story. So, when my big brother graduated from KNUST in about 1992 or 1993, thereabout, finished a first degree in civil engineering. Even before he graduated, he had nailed or secured a job with then Chumboafo and Partners. It was a leading consulting firm at the time. The job market around the time wasn't as it is today. As a matter of fact, employers hunted for graduates, and of course the best graduates, and recruited them long before they left campus. Over time, and I'm talking about 93, 3 decades after, there's a seismic shift in the job market. So there was an era where you apply for a job, go around companies and drop your application letter. The Gen Zs probably can relate to this. That era is long over. In fact, if you keep doing that today, what potentially could happen is that your application letter will be left with a security officer, and it may end up in the bin. So how do you go about increasing your chances of securing or landing your dream job? You have to approach it strategically. I'm going to share some quick facts or quick tips with you that could guide. These are time-tested, proven examples used by myself and many other people I know in helping them secure their dream jobs. So first, you've got to network. Get to know people within the industry you want to work in. Get to know people across different sectors and portfolios. Get to know people that matter, people who have voices in relevant places. So at about 2016, I had hit rock bottom because I had quit my job, doubled into entrepreneurship. It was a difficult period, and so I was looking for a job. And then 3 months prior to that, I spoke at a conference somewhere at a university, and I spoke together with the wife of the vice chancellor of the university, who happened to be on the board of a top consulting firm in Ghana. Now, after we spoke, or after we were finished with the seminar, with the conference, this said lady approached me and tapped me on the back or tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Wow, that was a great presentation." And so I asked for her number. We became friends. One thing led to another. I left a message with her that I was looking for a job at the time. Unknown to me, she was on the board of this company. So they go into a high-level strategic meeting, and at this meeting, the CEO and the executive director make a case for how the company is rolling out a new strategy. And then, fortunately for me, she remembers me in the boardroom. So she makes a case on my behalf that I know a young man who could help you with your strategy execution. And this is how I landed a job at one of Ghana's top consulting firms at the time. A couple of examples can be screwed from this, quick story. Being at the right places at the right time. And I've heard this shared by many persons. I've heard on Tony Robbins. I've read books where authors, hashtag this point. And until it happened to me, I doubted it a bit. I can understand if you doubt it. But reality is that if you are at the right place at the right time, you increase your chances of accessing opportunities. So go to the right places and go there at the right time. Number 2, network. So this said lady approached me, or this said woman approached me. But once she approached me, I picked her number, I followed up, and then we established a relationship. I must say, a couple of minutes ago, just before I walked in here, I actually spoke with her on phone over something very important. And I've kept this relationship for the past 10 years consistently. So be at the right place at the right time. Number 2, network. Now, number 3, be specific about what job you're looking for. I've lost count the number of times people reach out to me and say, "I'm looking for a job." And then they end it there. So I ask, "What job are you looking for?" And they say, "Oh, any job, So I said, "No, you can't do any job. Be specific." So usually I go a little bit, sarcastic and ask, "Can you be MD of an oil marketing company?" He said, "Oh, no." I said, "Okay, great." So you can't do every job. In other words, you don't have the competencies to do every job. So be specific, narrow down your search. I get a bit about the desperation, you're at entry level, you want the Ghana experience, I get all of that. But narrow down your chances to something specific. So say things like, I want a frontline administrative role. I have customer support skills. I'm good with customer service. I'm good with sales. Be specific. At entry level, these are the windows of opportunity available to you. Frontline administrative roles, customer support or customer service, sales. And I get that many people don't have a penchant for sales, but maybe in subsequent episodes, I would pass the euphoria or deal with the phobia around sales. It's a very simple process. If you understand it, you can master it. So first, be at the right places at the right time. Number two, whilst there, network. When you network, follow up and invest in building relationships. Number three, be specific with your search. Number four, make sure you script an impressive CV. Your CV speaks volumes about you in your absence. When I take your CV, I form an impression about you even long before I meet you. So it's either you have a plus 50% or minus 50% before I meet you in person. If it's a minus 50%, you have a hell lot of work to do to convince me that you're that person for the job. Any CV that is zigzag, grammatical errors, and so on and so forth, funny, funky email addresses. I once came across a CV that had an email address like sexybabe@yahoo.co.uk, and instantaneously, put yourself in my shoes. What do you think about this applicant? Sexy babe. Stick to professional email addresses, your first name, your last name @gmail.com. Be professional. So I'm saying script an impressive CV. If you don't know how to do it, get somebody to do it for you at a fee. See, invest in very important things that matter to life. Invest in them. It doesn't cost much to get a consultant. Even if it does, it is worth it. It is worth it. The returns is worth that investment. Any zigzag, disjointed, grammar, or error-infested CV gives an impression about you as somebody who is disorganized and not serious in life. I'm saying your CV speaks volumes about you in your absence. It's like a marketing pitch. Before you are given the opportunity to speak, your CV would have sold you in many respects. The last but not least, perhaps very important, is learn how to interview. No matter how skillful you are, no matter how networked you are, you'll be invited to a conversation. An interview is simply a conversation, a value-based conversation between two people, a company and an individual. The company wants to buy your skill, your time, and your expertise. You want to make sure the company provides for you the security you need and also the opportunity for growth. So don't get into interviews with desperate mindset. I can understand, maybe you've been home for years. No matter how desperate the situation might look, an interview is a value-based conversation where you go to pitch your value, and you also want to make a decision as to whether this company is even worth working for. I can assure you, with my years of experience in recruiting, it is not every company you want to work for. I'm telling you. So be at the right places at the right time, network whilst there, and follow up. Script an impressive CV, and I must emphasize the point that even if it has to cost you some few penny, do so. It's worth the investment. Fourth, learn how to interview. And number 5, follow up. Follow up. Nothing happens in life until there's a follow-up. I believe these thoughts will help you. I'm looking forward to your questions and your comments in the chat section. I'll respond to them. I'll bring you a second episode and we'll continue the conversation. Till then, stay blessed.